teachers were training at the Long Beach Public Library getting ready for the Robotics Idol competition. So, right after the teacher training day, we decided to have a little press conference. And you can kind of see we got a pretty good little crowd showing up. And the conference is just about to begin. So, here we are getting ready for the Robotics Idol competition. Welcome, everyone, to the Long Beach Public Library. We had a very, very exciting day here learning all about robots. Michael Moreira is here from Kids Talk Radio, and he's going to try to help us understand about a very, very significant event that is going to happen right here in the city of Long Beach. Michael, would you take it from here?
I sure will. I'll make it easy on all of you. I have just 3 questions. So if you would just announce your name and your position and answer the 3 questions, and then we'll get a chance to respond to all the questions at the very end. The 3 questions are, could you tell my audience a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in robotics? The second question is, what do you see as potential use of robotics in education? And the third and last question, what can you tell my audience about your role in the Robotic Idol competition? And if you need to ask, don't be embarrassed, it's okay. I know it's hard to remember all of it. So we'll start over here.
Okay, so my name is Eladin Bar. I'm the CEO of Robots Lab. And I got involved in robotics since I was, a child. Play with them, build them, program them, and so on.
What were like your first robots that you got involved in?
It was just a simple chip with a few motors, nothing too complex.
Okay. Yeah.
For many years, robots were like the toys for geeks, and which was fun, but really limited in the reach. The amount of people that can actually build them and program them. And in the recent years, we saw amazing developments. One of them is now that basically bring robotics to the mainstream. As we saw today in the workshop, it's so easy to program them, even to do complex things like face detection, face recognition, which require a lot of understanding in algorithm and so on. You just drag a box and it's running.
So is it the ease of programming that makes it accessible to the general public in a sense?
The ease of programming in one side, on the other side, the capability of the platform.
Okay.
So we all played with small rovers, but when you see humanoid robots, it's opening a whole new set of of things that you can do with it.
Great. And the other 2 questions, what do you see as potential use of robotics in education, and what can you tell my audience about your role in the Robotic Idol competition?
So as for what we can do with
Sure.
robotics in education,
Yeah.
our company, Robots Lab, is all about robotics in education. We are working very closely with Aldebaran Robotics, and now delivering a lot of added value to the classrooms, to universities, to schools, to science museums, and so on. And we also created a whole package around robotics and STEM. So we are teaching all kinds of abstract concepts like quadratic equations and sine and cosine using robots. We're basically bridging the abstract world into the concrete world.
And for those that don't know, STEM is?
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Robots can bring a lot of experience and a lot of hands-on experience into the classroom, especially for the math, especially for the physics, for the things that we all learn, but it's so abstract we don't really understand. How many times you heard, why the hell do I need to learn quadratic equations? I'll never use it in my life. When you see robots like now, or quadcopters and so on, doing these kind of things, students actually understand that.
Right.
And this is where the tipping point where, we can change the education, we can change the scores that students are reaching in the classrooms.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Next.
Yes,
And
That's right, the competition.
Yeah,
You were keeping track.
So So in the robotics idol competition, our role is basically to train all the teams, and we'll work together with the library and with the schools, with the students, and basically train them and make sure that everyone is up to speed and at the same level when they start, because we don't want to be in a position that someone will say, well, I didn't win because I didn't learn, or I didn't get the best practice that we can get. So we'll bring all of the schools and all of the teams up to speed together with the library here, and we'll make sure that they will be able to program the robots in a way that they will be able to win.
Wow. And over what time period might that be, the sort of
So
pre-education, so to speak?
So the program is it starts at July, where when all the teams will get the robots together during the summer camp, and the summer camp will last roughly 2 weeks. And during the summer camp, we'll teach them everything, and then from this point until October, they have to work on the dances and everything. And in October, we plan to have the actual competition.
Well, fun. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Okay, next, the three questions. Could you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in robotics, and what do you see as potential use of robotics in education, and your involvement in robotic idol competition?
Okay. My name is Bob Barboza, and I'm the National Director of Kids Talk Radio. So one of the big projects that Kids Talk Radio has is to tell the story of STEM. So we report the news about STEM. So when we saw that there was a potential to work with this entire robotics team, we said, wow, that's going to be some exciting news. And so we started getting involved, and we started doing all kinds of little creative journalism type projects to kind of tell the story that Elad has and that Cedric has and Francisco. And so basically, Kids Talk Radio will report the news on this entire event. We'll cover the event bumper to bumper. We also have what is called a Kids Talk Radio Sound Effects Orchestra. So we're going to work here with the library, and we're going to work with the robots, and we're going to tell stories, and we're going to integrate this kind of technology and also create a little robotic news show. So once again, I'm Bob Barboza from Kids Talk Radio, and that's what I do. So your other question was the connection in education.
Correct.
Kids Talk Radio is also connected to an organization called Super School University. And that's a university that does educational research and curriculum design in an area called STEAM Plus. So STEAM Plus takes the whole STEM initiative and it takes it a step further. It does science, technology, engineering, visual and performing arts. That's this robot here getting involved there. Visual and performing arts, mathematics, and then we get into both computer languages and foreign languages. So that's the STEM Plus model. So that's where we see ourselves in education, reporting the news on STEM Plus. And your last question?
About the robotic idol competition.
Oh, this is the most exciting part. We had the opportunity to be one of the major sponsors for this entire event, and we're collaborating very closely with the library to make it possible for teachers to be trained and for the actual competition to occur right here in our city of Long Beach. And we're really proud that we were able to accomplish this, because our city is now going to be in a very, very beautiful position as we get people excited about learning.
That's exciting. Great, great. Okay, thanks.
Hi, my name is Francisco Vargas, and my job title is the Youth Services Officer for the Long Beach Public Library. In other words, we do all the programming from 0 to 24. And actually, we go beyond. So even though I just do youth, we're looking at programs for all ages, intergenerational, and so on and so forth. And the way I was introduced to robotics was really through Bob Barboza and through Cedric. They came to the library and they showed They did a demonstration with us, and we saw the potential right away. The library is a place for anyone to come and learn. And so just with anything, we have ebooks now, we have tablets, we have laptops, technology. We feel that we need to make accessible any technology that's available to the public. And so through this collaboration, we're hoping to also be able to be another place where people can say, I want to learn about robotics. I want to learn in my own personal time, what can I do with this technology? I think is revolutionary. It's going to help people in many, many ways, not just academics, but also getting them to a place where they want to be. One of the things that we're collaborating with the Robot Idol is that we're going to be hosting. So in the past, we haven't been taking a role. We've been very passive. So the public libraries, I think, have a role to be the host and allow anyone to come out and see it, or to at least be able to make it a neutral place that people can come and learn.
So a community experience.
A community experience,
Right,
correct.
right,
Much
yeah,
better
yeah,
said that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
So I think we have the space. We have a large library here downtown that is close to the restaurants, the hotels, the schools. Will be able to come here and feel free to use the library and work on their presentations.
Exciting.
I have one question for you.
Sure.
How come you always get to hold a robot?
I don't know.
I would like to hold a robot.
You get to
from
roll
my
it.
gallery. Thank you very much.
He's great.
All right. So the questions are: how did you get involved in robotics and your position? Potential use of robotics in education, and of course the robotic idol competition.
Okay, great. Thank you. So my name is Cédric Vaudel. I'm a regional manager for Aldebaran Robotics. I actually started my career at IBM company and also then Sage.
What were you doing there at IBM?
So software industry.
Okay, yeah.
Software industry. And actually, when I was young, one of my favorite movies was Terminator 2, T2.
Okay, yeah.
And at that time, I thought that all the robots were mean. And when I met now for the first time, I realized that actually robots are not mean, but some can
That's
help.
interesting.
And this is actually exactly the vision of Aldebaran Robotics, is to develop robots to help people in general. So
In reference to that, there's always been this sort of implied that as robots become more sophisticated, they will try to annihilate us as human beings, and that's kind of the overall message that I've gotten over the years.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we are not there yet. Like, we have sophisticated platform, but we still have to work a lot to work hard to have one day robots in every home, in every hospital, to help people. But we are already working on that. And as the leader in humanoid robotics, it's our responsibility to prepare and to develop and to improve the robotics platform that we are working on, and especially now. So one example on how we can use humanoid robots for human is one example, healthcare. We have a lot of projects going on using now for autism, so interaction with autistic kids and improve their communication skills.
Can you give us a little example in one of those areas, how it can be applied?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of projects going on in universities. So basically they have therapists that are programming the robot with the very user-friendly interface that we are providing with now, that helps them without any knowledge in programming to develop sequences of behaviors and interaction, verbal and non-verbal communication between the robot now and autistic children. One example, at the University of Connecticut, they are using the robot to play drums, and the kid has to imitate the same rhythm with the drums. And if the kid is doing wrong, is doing bad, the robot will say, hey, you could do it better, play it again. And if the kid is doing well, the robot will give him a reward that is, for example, a little dance. And it will make the kid very happy. So this is one example. Second example about helping with robots, it's education. We really have to help kids, and especially in the US, to love, to like science, STEM. We have a lack of students in science, and it's our responsibility too to be able to enhanced education by bringing a very sophisticated and very cute, very friendly platform.
When you say our responsibility, who are you including with?
I'm including Aldebaran Robotics, but I'm also including the academics
Sure,
community
okay.
by bringing universities on board, by bringing also schools, associations, libraries, and also experts in robotics like Robots Lab, Kids Talk Radio that is helping us a lot to help schools finding grants, this kind of things. So we are all working together to make it happen. We have been working very closely between Aldebaran Robotics and the RoboCup, a competition that is actually a competition to program the robot to play soccer. And this is one good way, I think, to evangelize the use of humanoid robots, especially humanoid, to play soccer. And this competition is more toward universities. And I really wanted to make these things happening also for secondary education, grade 6 to 12. So I asked to myself, what else could be very useful and very engaging by using a humanoid? And I thought that dance would be a very funny way to engage students. Just because when you see humanoid robots dancing, it justifies the fact that we need 2 legs to dance.
That's right, right.
So this is how it starts actually, the robotic idol competition. And so right now we are actually making connections with a lot of organizations and schools and also universities with extracurricular activities to have a lot of people on board for this competition. And hopefully next year we'll be able to expand it to other states. So right now it's only California.
You sound very passionate about the use of robots. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That is great stuff. Well, that pretty much covers it. Does anyone have anything to contribute and add to what's been said so far? This is sort of the free-form sort of part. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I would like to add another piece. For those of you that are out there viewing this, we have a wonderful opportunity to help both teachers and students up and down the state of California through this robotics idol competition. And we're looking out at the private sector and the public sector to reach out and help various school districts so they can get robots and get involved in this program. I think this is a wonderful way to get not only California, but the whole country on a higher rating in the area of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Very good. Anything else? Anything additional?
And this is a great team that can do it, can execute it. That's one of the important things. We have, the robot and the team around it, and we know that we can do that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well,
So-
thank you so much for helping my audience understand about robotics. This has been Michael Moreira for Kids Talk Radio.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Now let's dance.